Hello! So in my last video I showed you how to make this box, and all I've done since then is I covered it with a piece of pattern paper and tied a bow, and I stuck the bow on the bottom, and I left the bottom very plain, and I just put the one little piece of paper on it just for a little bit of decoration. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you another way which you can use this box for cards. What we're going to do is turn it into a DIY kit. So you can give a kit to whoever you want to give your cards to. You're going to give them a kit of pre-made stuff that all they have to do is put them together, and then they can essentially create their own card in a way that they would like to. It can say what they want it to say, and it can look how they would like it to look. So, to do that, first of all, we're going to do some prep, and I've already done that. What you want to do is figure out how many cards you want to make first. So I've done that, and I've created the base of the cards, and all I did for that was I took a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 cardstock. I did heavyweight, and I ran it through my embossing folder, and I embossed all of them. I embossed them all differently so that they're all a little bit different, but they're all kind of the same. I wanted this to be a very simple project, and the only color in the card is going to come from the embellishment, and I really like that idea. So I thought that I would stick with a nice white base. Of course, you don't have to. You can do whatever kind of base you want, or you can make any kind of card that is simple to create. So I've done that. I've already put those, and then I've made 6 cards, 6 card bases, and you can see all the embossing on them. And I have 6 card envelopes. I'm going to stick those on one side. Okay. And now on this side, we're going to put the stuff to make the card. So what I've done is I've went to my printer, or my computer, and I printed out some sentiments. And I did print them on white as well, because I wanted it to be a very white on white card with only one bit of color, and I'll show you that in a minute. I printed out some sentiments, and then I die cut them out. So I have happy birthday, I have thinking of you, and I used a lot of different types of fonts because, oh, let's get the focus here, sorry about that. I wanted it to be very different so then they can match the font that they want to use with the background that they like. So I have happy birthday, and then I also have thank you, and I have a hello and a thinking of you again. And then what I've done is on the back of these I put some dimensional adhesive, and I did not remove the adhesive, the backing. I just left it on there so that for them all they have to do is pick up the card, pick the card they want to use, pick the sentiment that they want to use, stick it on the card. Okay? So what we need to do is we're going to create a divider for these. So I've got here, actually, I've got a piece of paper here. Let's set this aside. And we're going to create our first divider. And I just printed these on my computer. I just used fonts that I had on my computer, and I printed them, and then I die cut them out. Okay? So let's start with the scoring, because then we might only have to do it once. We're going to make 2 of these, but in different sizes. Okay? So our first score is going to be at 1 inch, and then 3/4 of an inch, and then 3/4 of an inch from that. I'm sorry, 1 inch, and then 3/4 from that, which is 1 3/4, and then 3/4 from that, which is 1, 2, 3, 2 1/2. And then we're just going to make a little tick mark 1 inch from that, so at the 3 1/2 inch. Okay? Then I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to do this again one more time, just because I want to have extra in case this one's not going to be enough space. So 1 inch, 1 3/4, 2 1/2, and then a little tick mark at 3 1/2, so I know right where to cut. Okay? Then I'm going to stick this aside, and we're going to cut this right where we made our little tick marks. Okay, and then I'm going to make my first cut because I know that the width of this box is about 4.5. I'm going to make it just a little under 4.5. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is fold. We're going to fold it one way first, and then we're going to fold the other ones back on themselves. So now what you have is this. Okay? First step, let's make sure it fits in here. And it does. Good. Next step, we're going to put some adhesive right in the center here. Just like that. Stick that together. And then this is going to go right in there. And all we want to do is make sure that we have enough space in there for those. So, kind of right about there. Then we're going to go ahead and put our adhesive on here. Okay, again I'm going to use this so that I know that I have enough space. And just try to get it as straight as you can. And then stick it down. And now you've got a divider for, whoops, all of your sentiments. Okay. Next step, I might have more than, let's see how many sentiments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got too many sentiments. So I'm just going to remove one and that will make it easier. Okay. Next step, we're going to create a divider here. And so I just need to know how long that is. So I'm just going to use this. That's my cheap way of measuring, because it's going to be a little bit harder to get a ruler in there, you know. So I'm going to take another strip of this. Actually, I'm using the same one that I already used. I guess I didn't really need to score the second one, but that's okay. Now I have it for an additional box if I want it. Again, you're going to fold these the same way. Okay. Then let's make sure it fits in there, and it does. Okay. Then I'm done with this. Seal that up. And then again, we're going to put our adhesive on here. Okay. And then we're just going to place it in the box as straight as possible. And if you want to, so that you don't have all of those, so you don't see those, you could put a piece of paper on top of that and then it would look nicer. I'll probably do that before I gift this, but for this, for right now, all I would do is just take a measurement and then put a piece of paper in there, patterned or otherwise, whatever you like. So then the next step is in here, which is our embellishment. And this is what I created for our embellishment. And these are just from a stamp that I have. I stamped them in black, and then I embossed them also with black. I did try embossing them with clear, but it turned it kind of gray. And I did stamp these on vellum, okay? And then I also did apply adhesive to the middle of them, because when I put them on there, then I want them to pop up a little bit. And then we place those in there. And then in here, I'm going to put, I think maybe some flowers or maybe some ribbon in case they want to tie some ribbon. I think maybe I'll put some ribbon in there, okay? But first I want to show you how I colored these. And the reason I want to show you is because I actually colored them with cheap markers. Very, very cheap markers. And I colored them, and I don't know if you can tell. Let's see here. You can see that, let me turn on the autofocus here and see if you can see there. You can see that they blended pretty nice. I really like the way that they turned out. And I think because I colored them on vellum, I was able to create a nice blend because it didn't dry right away. I actually have colored and blended these on watercolor paper as well. I don't have markers like Copic markers or the Zig Clean Color, so I figured I would try these, and it worked out really good. I tried colored pencils first, and I also tried coloring on the opposite side so that it was fainter, but I actually really like the way the bright color, because everything else on it is white, I'm really happy with the bright color of that. So what you're going to do is pick out 3 of your cheapo markers. I'm going to pick these 3 colors. I have a light color, a medium color, and a dark color. Okay? The first thing I did is I colored it with the lighter color. And I'm not coloring very carefully. And I am coloring over the embossing powder, and it's not hurting it. It didn't do anything to the other ones, so I figure this is just fine. Then I'm going to take the medium color, and I'm going to scribble out from the center in kind of a messy sort of way. Then I'm going to take my darkest color, and I'm going to scribble out from the center a little bit less than I did with the medium color. Then I'm going to go back with my medium color, and I'm just going to scribble over, whoops, I got out of the lines a little bit. Whoops, I'm just going to scribble right back over my other color so that this kind of helps it to move around a little bit more. Then I'm taking my lightest color and blending that, and then you can see I end up with a really pretty blend on my butterfly. And if you want to have it a little bit toned down, you could always color on the back side. I really liked the brightness, like I said. And then I just individually cut all of those out, and I cut 2 for each card in the same color. So I colored 2 exactly the same and punched them to the same alright. And then I think that perhaps I will go with, I don't want to add more color because I really want just, let me show you how this is going to, what my idea for this is. So you take your card here like this, Whoops, let me zoom back out here. Okay, you take your card, and then you take your sentiment, and you're going to take the adhesive off and stick it on there. Then you're going to take the two same colored butterflies and adhere them kind of however you want. I put one on the sentiment and one on the card. And then you have a really pretty card there. I think it needs any ribbons, so I really don't need anything in that spot. I think it looks good just like that. I'm quite happy with it, actually. So what I could do is I could just take these out if I wanted to. I could just take that center piece out if I wanted to. Or I could find something else to put there. You know, maybe I could set some stamps there. That would be cool. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put some stamps there. And then I have this super lovely gift set. And then they can put together their own card. They can have it be whatever sentiment they would like it to say. And then they can pick and choose the background pieces and the colors of the butterfly. And there we have our lovely little gift. I hope you enjoyed this. One thing I will tell you is that if you color on the butterflies, as you color, the vellum starts out flat, but as they dry, it tends to curl up. I don't know why, but I did set mine overnight in a press because they were so curled up. They did uncurl a little bit, and actually I kind of like the curl on the card. It kind of makes them look like they're flying onto the card or whatever. But, you know, that's one thing to think about when you color them. It didn't curl up when I colored them with colored pencils, but I couldn't get as good of a blend, and I couldn't get as bright of a color as I wanted, so I used the markers. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this project. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, and I will see you all again soon with another video.